I sit here before you, having just packed everything, and I hopefully mean everything that's coming up to Kalahari with me for ColossalCon East. I am unreasonably sweaty for the first week in September. Probably because I rushed a little, but it's fine. I've somehow managed to condense everything to this in the 2 bags that I'm propping my phone up on. This is already not going exactly how I planned. I wanted to be there now, but I couldn't get out of my very important night class, understandably so. So I will be driving up with an arrival time of 10:30 p.m. maybe. I'm nervous because this is bigger and a little rowdier than other events I've done before. I am excited, however, because tomorrow is my birthday. But, however, I need to get all of this in my car right now. So I'm gonna do that after I catch my breath. Oh my God, am I shaking? Yeah. Hi. So that was a lot, and over a week later, I am still very tired. I was supposed to have this video done like days ago, probably weeks by the time this is actually up on YouTube and edited. But the convention knocked me off my butt so hard that I was practically bedridden for the day after I got home and could barely muster to do anything other than my schoolwork until like today. So here we are. It's probably better that I'm doing it now than then, because despite me still being a little spacey, I don't think I would have been able to form coherent sentences if I put a camera in front of my face this time last week. So our story begins a couple of hours after that intro clip, immediately after my very important night class. I had pre-packed my car. Kind of regret that because I didn't like hauling all of that all the way up to the school parking lot, but it had to be done. It's roughly 8:30 and I am practically running to my car so I can get to the hotel as early as possible. I've been to the Kalahari Resort multiple times with my family over the years, but this was the first time that I was going by myself and staying in a room with 3 other young adult cosplayers. I wasn't too worried about getting there and meeting up with my people because I know the space so well. I just hate driving in the middle of the night in Pennsylvania, man. Somehow, despite my anxiety, I got there earlier than I intended by an entire 15 minutes. I lived, bitch! Ugh. I hate Pennsylvania roads so much. They're awful, and I hate trucks, and now I'm going to go into the hotel and sleep, because I just really want to go to sleep. As soon as I got in and got to my room and set all of my stuff down, I immediately was like, okay, bedtime. Or at least I tried to go to bed. So our room was right by the elevator. So roughly every 5-10 minutes you had a group of partygoers of varying levels of sobriety going in and out. I woke up on Friday and all of a sudden I was 22. It was very fun walking around the entire day and feeling like the dude in the corner at a party meme, just being like, they don't know I'm the birthday girl. Walking through the lobby and into the convention center for the first time was a little bewildering, because I had not been to Kalahari in a hot minute, and I had never seen it like the way that it was on CCE weekend. 90% of the people staying at the hotel were either in costume or visibly in some other way a convention guest. It was practically overrun by nerds. There's this fancy tree sculpture that goes between the spiral stairs down into the convention center area of the hotel, and as early as like 10:30 people were already getting photos there. The like main gates had projections of Miku and Porygon just displayed at the top of it. Friday morning I immediately had to find a group for a photo shoot. I last minute hopped in on a femme-presenting Oran High School host club group as one of the twins. Was I Hikaru or Kaoru? I'm pretty sure I was Hikaru. And fun fact, the entire week at school before I left, there was some kind of crud going around that wasn't exactly a cold, was proven not to be COVID, but it made a ton of people sick. And I was like, nope, not risking it, and masked the entirety of Friday. And I wore basic blue mask and it matched all of my costume perfectly, almost as if it was part of it. I'm still waiting on the photos from this shoot back. We just sent in the final order of which ones we want edited today, I think. If not, we're doing that tomorrow. But the previews look so cute, and maybe by the time this is out there, I will have examples to show you. As cute as we were though, as soon as I got back to the room, I whipped that cosplay off. It wasn't that I was uncomfortable in it or anything. I don't know, something just wasn't right, if that makes sense. Maybe it's an autism thing, I don't know, but I changed into a t-shirt for about an hour and had some snacks before getting into my second cosplay of the day, which was Yasha. Not a whole lot of things happened Friday afternoon, and if they were happening, I wasn't present to see it. I mostly just wandered around in and out of all the different rooms and Artist Alley so I could get my bearings. Hung out with some friends that I had met for the first time that day and were just like, hey, are you here? I'm here too. Popped into the in-character acting contest because I love me some good improv. I didn't stay the whole time because some of the bits that people had just got not funny after a while. Hate to admit it. This is where we stand end of night one. I have garments to steam. I'm about to have the first real food that I've had all day, and I have a water park pass for the evening swim, and I'm probably going to go on water slides until midnight, which is fun. I'm so tired, and it's only been one day. There's just so much stuff here all the time. It's everything all the time. But I can't stay out too late because I've got really important things happening tomorrow. I'm so excited. I kept Yasha on, but I changed into a swimsuit, and I will not be showing the full getup here because it is a little more suggestive than I think YouTube will let me get away with. It's nothing bad, it's just me in a swimsuit and the wing harness, but I don't know, I feel like Content ID will immediately see that as something sexual and be like, no, you're not allowed. And while I am waiting in line to be let into the water park, something kind of funny happened. So earlier in the day, while I was hanging out waiting for the Oran shoot, I saw a photographer and another group of cosplayers walking towards the forest. And this group of cosplayers was wearing the Sunset Dragon Evolution Fairy costumes. One of them was an Umbreon, and I looked over and was like, hey, didn't Minji Lee make a Fairy Umbreon costume a while ago? Because whoever was modeling it looked very similar. And then I went on my Instagrams later and clicked through people's stories, and as I was walking down to the water park, guess who posted a selfie of herself in the Fairy Umbreon suit at Kalahari? So while I'm waiting in line, I turn and look around, and they're now out of cosplay, but I kind of know what her face looks like, is Minji Lee. So I tell my friends to hold my place in line while I go and introduce myself and say, hey, you're really cool. So I very awkwardly said hi, and we took a photo, and I was already a little bit buzzed at this point, so I might have overreacted a little once I got back in line. Speaking of buzz, hold up. These are the size of the souvenir cups. How do they expect someone as tiny as me to have multiple 24-ounce alcoholic beverages with 3 types of alcohol in them? I was too drunk to balance after half of this. I did keep myself moving and was always with someone. I went on water slides until I felt like I could not anymore, and I did safely get back to my room, but I don't think I'm ever doing this again. Nope. I woke up Saturday morning somehow not hungover at all, and thank goodness for that because I had things to do. Saturday morning I was Vanessa. I finally got to wear her at a con after getting sick at Zenkai last year. This was the only part of the entire trip where I had a very structured game plan. At 10 o'clock there was a FNAF Jeopardy panel, which was really fun. I knew most of the answers. Our team lost. It was okay though. I had a great time. It was very well run. Shout out to the two guys who ran it. That was one of the highlights of the day. The second highlight came about an hour later when I went into the dealer's hall with my little ticket and I got to meet Kellen Goff, the voice of Freddy Fazbear. Specifically Funtime Freddy and Glamrock Freddy, and also Sun and Moon and Eclipse and Foxy's Dum Dum Diddly Dums in the movie. But I saw that he was on the guest list all the way back in May and was immediately like, as soon as I can reserve a spot, I am reserving a spot. And I was first in line for my time slot, so when they walked me over and there were only like 3 people in front of me, I was shaking so hard. The person who was standing behind me just turned me around and was like, "Hey, are you okay? You look like you're panicking." And I was like, "No, I'm just excited." But they like went through breathing exercises with me before I went up to talk to him, and thank goodness I did, because otherwise it would have been not great. Upon walking up to him, the very first thing he said to me was, "Vanessa, I am a material girl." And I straight up lost it. Like, he's so nice and he gets the fandom culture so well. So I had a nice little conversation with him and it was very, very sweet. And I couldn't articulate words for a good 15 minutes after that interaction. And also,
You don't have to. Yeah,
I need to walk and talk because I'm freaking out and I need food, but I just met Calvin and I can't breathe and and this is so fulfilling. I can't articulate words right now. I'm a little teary, but oh my god. This makes me so happy. This is kind of a full circle moment for me because the video of me making this is one of my best performing, and it was one of the first like Ruin tutorials to ever go up on YouTube. So to have one of the people who worked on Ruin acknowledge it, say it looked good, and then sign it is incredibly fulfilling. I have this propped up backwards on my desk, so I have "Way to go superstar" as my little motivational quote every day. It just it makes me so happy. After getting all of those emotions out, I had a very easy quick change into the debut of my Maka Albarn cosplay. Started off a little rough. I went downstairs and had to put my scythe on the ground to take somebody's photo, and as I was putting it down, it slipped out of my hand and the counterweight on the blade snapped off. That was pleasant. So after I got it approved at weapons check, I booked it straight to cosplay repair to glue it back on. After that though, it was smooth sailing for the rest of the day. I got stopped over 50 times to be complimented and talked to and have photos taken of, and it felt very special. It just makes me so happy that all of the hard work that I put into that prop to make it eye-catching and accurate as it was paid off, and that I seemed to summon a bunch of Soul Eater fans out of the woodwork. I'm a little socially drained. The masquerade is about to start, so I have to get ready to talk to people. I keep getting stopped. I had a feeling, oh, it's blocking the, I'll have to show you. I had a feeling that the scythe was going to call a lot of attention to me, and it did. So I'm glad that it's getting the love that I feel it deserves, because I put a lot of work into it, and a lot of love into it. There it is, it's up against the wall. was hiding behind our honorary 5th roommate. I didn't stay out as late as the night before because some of the tired had been catching up to me, and also because I got catcalled and felt unsafe, but we're not gonna go into detail about that. So the only real eventful thing I did on Saturday evening was watching the Masquerade and the Craftsmanship contest. As usual, I am very wowed and inspired by everybody who took part in that. In fact, one of my roommates at the con was part of the group that won Best Masters, and I screamed so loud for them. I went to bed at a relatively normal time and then woke up on Sunday feeling incredibly run down. And then I got into Laudna so I could look as dead as I felt on the inside. We got a late checkout for our room, so I could just dilly-dally around and tie up some loose ends. But as soon as one of those carts that people use to take all of their stuff back to their car was available, I just put everything on there and hauled it straight back to the parking lot.
It fucking windy!
Yeah, that was not pleasant. It was about 65 degrees and very breezy. It was, however, very pleasant for my Amanda photo shoot with my friend who was Imogen. The photographer that we worked with was incredibly awesome at posing and getting these beautiful shots with great lighting, and I feel like those are gonna take pretty long to get professionally edited because she's a high demand photographer, so I'm almost definitely not gonna have any to show in this video. But if you follow me on Instagram or Tumblr even, you might see those photos when they are available, probably sometime around the spooky season. Wink, wink. And once that shoot was over, it was time to get gas, drive home, and flop into my dorm room bed. I would say my own bed, but this technically is not my own bed. Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to film the haul separately of things that I got and add it in right here. All right, we're speed running this on my desk because I realized I had a lot more stuff. A lot of these were freebies because trinket trading was huge this year, and I spent, despite being way over my budget, less than I thought I was going to spend. Here we go. Got a lei from a Baldur's Gate Beach Day group. Got Scanlan's Beads of Love. Somebody cosplaying Artagan beeline towards me when I was dressed as Laudna and handed me this traveler pamphlet. This is the artist. They are not the artist. I'm not sure who they are, but whoever you are, this is one of my favorite gifts. Shork from Cross Critters. This little fella from a very nice furry. Hornless unicorn. I was told it was a unicorn. There is no horn. Rubber ducks were big this year, so I have 7 of those, but my favorite is the one that's actually a flamingo. Little wooden ornament I got in a mystery gift from Made by Mages. Doubloons from Foxy. Spamton G. Spamton blessed me with my very own Peepus. Ditto post-it notes, easy breezy draws. And this absolutely gorgeous floral infused D20 from Golden Light Dice. Look at her. Oh my god, she's so pretty. I also got work from Miniature Inspirations and Pixel Hour, but those were gifted to friends, so I cannot show them here. What I can show you, however, is the length of my freaking badge. Oh my god. There's so many! So, the badge ribbon game was an official thing this year. So, everyone and their mom had at least one on their badge or in their possession. I only got 17, but I know people who have upwards of 100. I think the Mimic over here might be my favorite. He's so silly. There was also a flea market on Sunday, and my impulses got the better of me, so now I have a Professor Sonia from Pokemon Sword and Shield set somewhere in my drawers, I believe right here, and a Chiaki and Nami from Danganronpa set in my bin. I'm more responsible than this, guys, I promise. Would I do ColossalCon East again? Yes and no. I had a wonderful time with wonderful people doing wonderful things. But Jesus Christ, the week-long recovery period was awful. If I am to do it again in the coming years, it would probably be a one-day thing, because I don't know, it's just easier on me mentally and physically. I now understand what people mean when they say that CCE is very much a party con. At any given point, the majority of people will be not sober in some capacity. Things run until like 3 in the morning, and it's not for the weak, and I am the weak. Next year's dates also, once again, fall on my birthday, so I really don't want to miss time with my family. So, to be determined on CCE 25. I'll see how much post-con depression I have after Zenkai in March. I don't know. I have a rehearsal to get to in a couple of minutes. Thanks for watching and listening to me tell my little stories. I'm still have lingering tired, but that might be from other things that have happened at school since then. I don't know. Like and subscribe and comment and hit all of the buttons you want to hit. I'll see you later.